This podcast is brought to you courtesy of Skype.
In a world of great peril and fear, where prices go up and the digital replaces the tangible, who will the masses turn to? England and Sweden in the greatest crossover event ever. Starring Jack and Nick.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, Nick, and with me, as per usual, is my cohort, Jack.
Hello, I'm on loan from the local loony bin.
Great.
I think that show on Saturday that I've started has driven me a little bit mad trying to find some sufficiently weird news.
But weird news is awesome, and before we
Yeah.
start our show, how about you tell us what happened on Saturday?
On Saturday, I got my new show, which is Nightmare Mode, at 10 p.m. GMT. Yeah, shameless plug right there. And yeah, it was an hour of madness.
I think I described it to a friend as frightening music and frightening news.
Yeah, that is a perfect description of what it is.
Oh, what is it? The dentist story just freaked me out.
The MacGyver dentist.
Yeah, the MacGyver dentist. God.
That and the, what was it, the court case for ownership of a cat being overturned because the star witnessed that a dog died.
I love things like that. It's amazing. We need to.
Oh, it's fantastic.
We need to make sure that is recorded so that you can upload it somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but this isn't Nightmare Mode. This is crossover, and we're here to talk about comic books. Woo!
Yes! Many comic book newses for you this week.
And right now, I have no idea if anyone is actually listening because our usual IRC bot is dead.
We have at least one listener, and I know that because I forced her into it.
Okay. Our is it the studio audience or is it home audience?
Not studio audience because she's not here at the moment, but
Okay.
yes, that person.
That was interesting, having a studio audience.
Yeah.
I guess we will have that when we... Because I assume that we will record something when we go to London.
Oh yes, which we will be
Comic-Con.
doing.
Yeah. We need to get some sort of... I don't know, lodging for that. And play
I
tickets.
will talk to you about that after the show.
Good.
Or in the music break.
So, those of you who are listening, you should let us know that you're listening in the IRC by going to noticeradio.com, click on chat, enter your username and click on join. Because that's the only way that you can talk to us right now without any delay.
Yes. Although you could also, if you feel like it, go back to noticeradio.com, click on forums, click on crossover, and vote in the last weekly poll that we had, which is still ongoing. Should more comics be made into live-action TV shows? This doesn't count the fantastic cartoons we've had over the years, you know, the Batman, the animated series, Spider-Man, so on.
Spectacular Spider-Man.
Yes, exactly.
You might say that was, put the glasses on, spectacular.
Yeah!
Oh, I need to get that as a drop-in as well.
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
Oh well. So, coming up in this show we have the Daily Planet with comic booky news.
Yeah, some big comic booky news. Some of it from last week, but, well, we weren't able to actually tell you what happened last week. And this is a big bit of news to start off.
It's huge.
Yeah, and very controversial. after that, we have the back catalogue, which is our review segment. What was good, what was bad, what may have been ugly, and nothing with Clint Eastwood in this week. I checked.
Oh, good.
I checked.
Good. I was hoping and rooting for a bit of a $1 million baby.
What do we have for the back catalogue then, Nick?
So after the Daily Planet, we have the back catalogue, our reviews of what we have personally been reading this
Which
week.
I just mentioned, just there. I mean, after the back catalogue.
I am, yeah, I'm tired. It's like
I
10.
know this.
It's past my bedtime. I'm 4 years old. Actually, probably go to bed earlier when you're 4. I can't remember because I was 4. But after the back catalog, we have the new releases, our personal top 3s for next week's releases in the world of comic books, so that you know what you should be looking out for when you go.
Yes,
to comic
one is
books.
coming out on the 15th of February, the day after Valentine's Day. There's maybe some stuff that we'll be able to patch up, you know, late Valentine's Day gifts for the nerds in your life. Probably not, but still, it's a possibility.
Yeah, especially since it's late. It will be late.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot about Valentine's Day yesterday. Here's Mary Jane Loves Spider-Man issue 2 or something. I don't know.
Oh, Superman's girlfriend Lois Lane or something like that. Awful stuff.
Those are brilliant, though. Superman's a total
I haven't
dick in
read a
those.
single one because it's not appealed to me at all.
No, neither have I, but I've seen the covers of some of them. There's like a website that is dedicated to just Superman being a right-out dick towards other people.
They are fantastically douchish.
Yeah, I mean...
Douchish is now a word, I'm patenting it.
Cool. I think the website is called like superdickery.com, and it's just brilliant. It's like, for some reason, before the Infinite Crisis on Multiple Earths or whatever, what was it called? Crisis on
Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yeah, it's been a while since we did this. That's why I
Yeah.
blame that. Crisis on Infinite Earths. Before that, Superman was a really dick to everyone, and he at one point adopted Jimmy Olsen for some reason.
For no obvious reason.
Yeah, Jimmy then goes to give him a like bathrobe for Father's Day, and Superman burns it up with his supervision.
Just cause.
Yeah, just cause he says something along the lines that this makes me so disappointed that I wish you were dead.
Son, I am disappointed.
Yeah, on a major level.
Anyway, along with the new releases, we'll be doing the webcomic spotlight, which is something that we found that looks really good, that's free, and updates a lot more frequently than once a month on internets. And this one is a little bit special because it actually is a print comic that's on the internet.
Yes, very interesting.
Yes.
We also have, after the webcomic spotlight, I can't remember.
The riddles.
The riddles. I almost said
Maybe you get the show
Gallery.
notes up.
Yeah. Sorry. I really need to get my... The riddles are viewer-listener thingy interaction segment where we take your questions to copodcast@gmail.com. That's copodcast@gmail.com. Yes.
That's right. And you can, in that segment, vote in the aforementioned weekly poll. And I'm not going to repeat that again because I've already erased that from my mind, the address for that. Anyway, after we've gone through the riddles, we have the Rogues Gallery, which is our top 10 segment. Because everyone likes top 10s.
Those are amazing.
Yeah.
How else would we know what to think about things?
I know. It's always got to be quantified in tens.
Yeah, 10 is a good round number. I mean, how would it be if we had like top 11 or top 13?
Oh, unlucky 13. Can't be done.
No. I have to build a entire building that doesn't have the 13th level.
And then some guy called the Owl ends up living in it.
Yes.
References.
Yeah.
This week, the top 10 is going to be tying into our first news story, when we come to that, about Before Watchmen. Dun-dun.
Before Watchmen, the thing that we never thought would happen.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. I never thought that this would happen, to be honest. I thought that Alan Moore would kill everyone on the entire planet before he'd let that happen.
Oh, he's in the process of doing that right now.
Yeah, I know, but...
He's in an absolute uproar about it.
Yeah. Actually, something that interested me was that the artist, whose name I have forgotten now, he actually not endorses this, but he's okay with them doing it, which is really weird. I really didn't expect him to...
Yeah, it's Dave Gibbons, who's the illustrator, and he's saying that, you know, he appreciates DC's reasons for this initiative, and the wish of the artists and writers involved to pay tribute to our work, and wishes them all success. So he's actually all for it.
Yeah, he basically says, I want nothing to do with it, but I'm okay with you doing it.
Yeah. Compare with Alan Moore, whose response is basically argle bargle margle.
And black magic.
And black magic.
A lot of black magic.
I forgot he's actually in the magic circle. He is a trained magician.
And the Illuminati.
And the Illuminati, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. So we have coming out... when is it?
This is going to be coming out eventually. I have no idea of the release date because it's not actually set a specific start date.
Okay.
When it will be published, but eventually.
Later this year.
Yeah,
presumably.
this year, definitely.
And there will be 7 miniseries where we have Rorschach, 4 issues, written by Brian Azzarello, artist Lee Bermejo, or whatever last names. Mm-hmm. We have The Minutemen, 6 issues by Darwin Cook, who I seem to remember is a pretty good writer and artist. I have nothing to say about his art. He's done some Batman, I think.
I think he has as well. Along with that, you got The Comedian, which is 6 issues, done by Brian Azzarello again, and J.G. Jones. Don't know about the artist, but I know Brian Azzarello's done a lot of good stuff. Along with that is Dr. Manhattan, 4 issues by J. Michael Straczynski and Adam Hughes. Night Owl, another 4-issue one by J. Michael Straczynski again, and artists Andy and Joe Kubert.
2 artists.
Yep.
2 brothers.
I would assume so.
See, they've done Adam Strange, Batman, well, Andy Kubert has done Adam Strange, Batman vs. Predator, he's done some X-Men, Kazar, Ultimate X-Men, Ultimate Iron Man, and Flashpoint.
Yeah, so a lot of, well-drawn stuff.
Yeah.
I can't say so much for, you know, how good Batman vs. Predator would have been.
Oh! I have a good example of something he's done. You know the cover of the first Flashpoint issue? The one where you have Flash running and his suit is tearing apart? He did the cover for that issue. Awesome. And yeah, his art is really good. I appreciate his art a lot.
Yeah. And just to cut off the final 2 miniseries, there's Ozymandias, which is 6 issues by writer Len Wein and artist Jay Lee. And Silk Spectre, done by writer Darwin Cook and artist Amanda Connor.
First woman.
First woman!
She's apparently an Irish-American comic book artist who's done... Let's see, she's done some Archie work, Batgirl, Superman Lois Lane, Terra, Supergirl, Power Girl, She-Hulk. Now, I purposely picked only the female characters that she's done. She's done a lot of things. And
I know.
yeah, but she's also a very, very good artist. Draws more to the comic booky, if you want to go for that style, compared to someone like Jim Lee, who goes for a quite realistic look.
Yeah.
If you remember the Power Girl from 2000-ish, 5.
Yeah.
That's something she's done.
Alright.
So yeah.
And yes, along with them, in each issue is going to be a backup story for Curse of the Crimson Corsair, which is another one of the pirate comics in that universe. Because there's superheroes all over the place. Why have comic books featuring superheroes? And it's also going to be tied up with the Before Watchmen epilogue one-shot by, it doesn't say specifically right now, but it's various creators. I'm guessing it's going to be the whole creative team involved in that one.
So I'm looking at the Crimson Corsair cover thingy. He looks like Alan Moore, the guy on the cover there. He really looks like Alan Moore with dreads, which I think is hilariously, tasteless, to be honest. Because the guy's dead. The Crimson Corsair
Yeah, well,
is
it could be worse.
He's a ghost or something. He's cracked. Like,
Could be a lot worse.
actually, I don't know if he's dead. Is he dead? He looks
I
dead.
don't know. He's just in very dodgy lighting.
He's very blue.
Blue-green. I just have to ask right now, what do you think of Before Watchmen? Are you for it? Are you against it?
I'm torn. Watchmen was great. I want to restate that statement and say that I love the story of Watchmen. I'm just not for the art of that particular series or area of time. Ugh.
Yeah, I've heard a fantastic quote about Watchmen recently, which is someone I know who's read it recently said, "I don't really like the art style. I think it's too wordy. I don't like any of the characters. The settings are a bit off, but I can't stop reading."
Oh, I think everything about it is brilliant. I just don't like the 80s style of making art for comic books.
Yeah.
It's just not something I'm very fond of. Which is a problem when I read stuff like A Death in the Family, which also took place in the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
So I had a hard time going through that because that wasn't as brilliantly written. Like, I really don't like that. I will only read it when I have to, which makes it sound like it's homework or something, but when it's something that's really good that you need to read, I will read it. But it's not because of the art like some other things, like Carnage and Carnage USA. It could be wordless and just have the art, and I would be fine with it because Clayton Crane is amazing. But yeah, so I would love to see the more updated art styles on a Watchmen comic. I'm just worried if they can pull it off, make it equally good to what Alan Moore had back in the 80s.
Yeah. Personally, I'm not at all fussed about it. I know there's a lot of negative feedback coming on this already. it's only just been announced and people are already decrying it as blasphemy because Alan Moore says so, and saying, "Oh, we don't need more Watchmen. We've already got this one graphic novel collection of it. Why do we need more?" But you do know that everybody who's saying that now is still going to buy every single issue.
Yeah, I saw a webcomic about it where it's like how the fans will react to it. And it's like, "We are in an uproar. I will buy it in protest."
There is some very twisted kind of logic there. Emphasis on the word twisted.
Very nice. So, I think we're gonna take a break, and when we come back, more Daily Planet. You're listening to Crossover live on Nordical Radio at nordicalradio.com. And this will be Dark Tranquility with Fabric, chosen by Jack.
This podcast is brought to you courtesy of Skype.
And we're back with Crossover on Nordical Radio at nordicalradio.com. That was Scar Symmetry with Astronomicon, chosen by Jack.
Yes.
His terrifying music. And you can hear more of that on Saturdays at 10 p.m. GMT on Nightmare Mode. So, I think we were talking about the Daily Planet.
I couldn't become Green Lantern.
That wasn't the Daily Planet. I thought I fixed that.
Apparently not.
That's not the Daily Planet. Where's the Daily Planet? Whatever.
Lucky she's young. Work your way through my back catalog will be...
That wasn't... No. No.
You're listening.
This is Daily Planet.
There we go. Trial and or error.
Or both.
Or both, yeah.
Why is it called Batman?
I don't know. I don't understand why you named everything on there as you did.
Well, I didn't. It's all, like, the file names are called Daily Planet and file names are called Batman. But whenever I import it into Sam Broadcaster, it changes them around. I think
your computer hates you.
that is very possible, to be honest. Very possible.
Anyway, after spending so long talking about before Watchmen,
Yes.
it's time for some new news.
Some new news.
That's
Yes.
right.
There has been a trailer released for a movie that I am slightly excited about. And Jack
Now
is...
you're excited?
What?
Now you're excited?
Yeah, a little bit maybe.
When you're over.
Okay, I actually spent about 20 minutes writing notes on this trailer. It is the trailer for The Amazing Spider-Man coming later this year, starring Andrew Garfield as Peter Parker and Emma Stone as Gwen Stacy, with some other guy as Dr. Curtis Connor.
Reese Ifans.
Reese Ifans. That's the guy.
Yeah.
And I made some notes on things that we should note from this. Yeah. And my first note is I still don't like the suit. I think...
Oh, I knew you'd never like the suit.
No. And I've come to the conclusion that for one, it's too shiny. For two, it's too bright. Because it basically looks the same as the current Ultimate Spider-Man costume, which is... It looks okay. The thing is that one is almost black, if not black. Which... Is that because the Spider-Man is black? Because that would be racist.
That would be very racist if that's the case.
Yeah, might be some underlying tone there. But
It's
anyway,
like if they made a Latino one instead. Well, 10 years half Latino, but if they include a sombrero as part of the outfit, maybe
Oh,
that's our level of badness. Or a bit of gangster bling.
yeah, we see him growing up, becomes an alcoholic, all he drinks is tequila. Poor Miles.
God.
And that's our daily dose of racism. So, no, but it's like, it's bright blue, well not bright blue, but it's still pretty bright blue, shiny costume. It's, no. That's pretty much the only thing of the aesthetics I don't like. Like, there is the scene where you see him, a zoomed in picture of his web shooter coming out of the suit, and like he can adjust it to do I don't know what, but that was cool. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I quite remember me saying that it looked stupid that the web shooters were on the outside, and I've changed my mind on that. The web shooters look cool.
Yeah.
And then some things that are possibly a bit spoiler about the movie's plot. For one, they're talking about Peter Parker's parents as scientists. Well, they show him, whatever Parker man his name is, as a scientist at Oscorp, which I'm unsure if that has been explored in the mainstream, but I'm pretty sure it has. But it was a big part of Ultimate Spider-Man, especially with the point where they in Ultimate Spider-Man said, "Oh no, I'm not dead. I've been hiding for the last 15, 16 years," which was weird.
Really?
Yeah.
Because that really, I'm sorry, but that really conflicts with something that they set up as massive point of continuity in, I think it was Ultimate Comics, sort of Legacy, something like that. I forget what it's called, but it was, showing the past of Ultimate Marvel Universe.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently he gets killed, like his parents get killed by the Hulk.
I was about to say that, but then in the end it turns out that it's not actually.
Alright, okay. Should I listen to the whole thing before I think, hang on a friggin' minute?
It's actually a part of the Clone Saga.
Oh. Clone Saga.
Yeah, the Clone Saga. The clones are pretty brilliant in Ultimate Marvel, though, I must say.
Yeah.
Instead of being like proper clones like we see them or mainstream see them, they're Carnage, basically.
Alright.
Yeah, because Carnage didn't really exist in Ultimate like it does in mainstream, because Carnage was just a Venom, which wasn't an alien life form. Venom was just manufactured, mixed with Peter Parker's blood, which then became Carnage, which was clones, one of them being Spider-Woman.
Okay.
Another of them being Gwen Stacy. But yeah, that's
Alright.
so that's interesting. Might see something in a sequel along those lines.
Yeah, I'm guessing they're probably going to do a Death of Gwen Stacy one in the sequel. If they, bring in the Green Goblin for that. And Oscorp.
Yeah. We also saw that either through a flashback or during the events of the movies, Gwen Stacy will find out that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. As shown because in the opening of that trailer, he comes into her apartment through the fire escape, and she asks, "How did you get up here?" And he says, "Oh, through the fire escape. It's 20 stories." And his response to that is, "Your doorman is scary," which pretty much shows that she doesn't know that he's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
and then you find it's very obvious that she knows. Also, something that wasn't in the last 3 movies, but will be in this one, I think, is that Peter Parker is a brilliant scientist.
Yeah.
Like
to the point of actually creating web shears.
Yeah, and I think that will be shown a lot in this one, which is great. Let's see, what else did I write down? It's unlikely that he's been Spider-Man for a long time. I would think that he's been Spider-Man for about as long as Bruce Wayne has been Batman, a little less actually, in Dark Knight. Just Dark Knight.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Seeing as the ending of Dark Knight seems very similar to what's going on in the Spider-Man movie, with them putting out a warranty for Spider-Man and all that, them chasing him. It feels very dark, actually.
Yeah, it's entirely different to the ones that have gone before it.
Yeah, this won't be a family movie, I feel.
Yeah. At least it's not dark in the sense that, Spider-Man 3 was meant to be dark and suddenly jazz hands!
Jazz hands makes everything darker.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Emo jazz hands.
And lastly, there were no sign of the Proto-Goblin or Nels Van Adder. And we had a casting, not rumor, I think it was pretty much said that, oh, this has been casted. Nels Van Adder, who in the comics is Proto-Goblin.
I think they're going to try and, keep on the hush-hush. Well, in terms of trailers anyway, so it's more of a surprise for people in the cinema who haven't been checking up on the news.
Maybe that, or they will have him appear as a Oscorp worker and then Proto-Goblin in the sequel.
I guess. Could work.
Because Curtis Connor, who turns into the Lizard, was in Spider-Man 3 quite a bit. And he was in...
Yeah.
I think he was in the first one and the second one as well, just not as much. And yeah, I think that's the route that they're gonna go down, because if they're gonna introduce the Proto-Goblin, they're gonna push on that in the trailer. I'm pretty sure that they would push on that in the trailer.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But enough of Spider-Man. We have another trailer.
Kind of, sort of, in a way. This is the extended Avengers Super Bowl spot, which is pretty amazing.
So good.
I know.
I nerded all over the floor. It was messy.
The one best moment of that has got to be the way it ends.
Yeah, the ending is the best. I've got an army. We've got a Hulk.
we got a Hulk.
Oh, so amazing. I like Tony Stark.
Yeah. If you haven't seen it already, then what rock have you been living under? Just check on YouTube, check on the link that's no doubt already, if hasn't, yeah, it has been posted already in the RC. Check it out and be amazed.
And those of you who are listening to the archive, I'm going to put the trailers in the actual archive, so yeah, you will be seeing that.
Yarp.
Yeah. Can I just go back to Amazing Spider-Man for a short second, because I forgot something.
Yeah, of course you can.
It's a comment on the trailer on YouTube.
Oh god.
I'm gonna link it in the IRC right now, and then I'm gonna read it out to you. And I'm gonna read out this guy's. Note that this guy had, at the time of the screenshot, he had 3 thumbs up. And he says, I prefer him having superpowers to create the web, not this Tony Stark bullshit. Fuck this guy. Not okay. This is the original web shooters and this is how it should be. And I commemorate, I'm gonna stop the music here, I'm commemorate this drop into him. It's gonna be a little bit loud.
Ladies and gentlemen, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Nerd rage.
Nerd rage. Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, that needed a second one. So yeah,
Okay.
Avengers. Looking splendid.
Mm-hmm. Any other news? If I have 2 bits of news still to go,
Yes.
which we can blast through.
And these are actually comic booky news.
Yeah.
As opposed to before Watchmen, what did I say? Yep. That's out there now. That's on the internet.
Mm-hmm. First thing we're going to mention is that for those of you who are fans of Smallville and for whatever reason were upset that it ended, do not fret. It shall be continuing on in a Buffy-like fashion, actually, by going straight to comics with season 11, starting on April 13th. And my response to that is care face.
Yeah, I haven't seen the Smallville series yet. So, I can't say that I...
Please, for your own safety, don't.
I'm gonna see it someday, when I have time. This vacation this summer, I might see it then.
Why would you do that to yourself?
Fun. Laugh at
There's
all
nothing fun about it. Unless you have to make a drinking game
out
out of it. Make a drinking game out of it, that would be fantastic.
A shot every time they mention kryptonite. I'll be dead in 10 minutes.
A shot every time you lose faith and lose respect for the actors. First 10 minutes, you'd be out cold.
Yeah, I'll be in the hospital within 20. Including the time it takes me to get there. So yeah.
Oh god.
But there are some of you and quite a bit of you that actually like the Smallville series, and so yeah, you can read what happens after that in comic book form, like people who read Buffy. Yeah. I haven't seen the end of Smallville, but the what I assume will be the first cover here looks like he has like a traditional Superman suit on it. Did he don that in...
That was the big moment of the end of Smallville, was, oh my god, he put on the suit, therefore now he's Superman, and OMG, now he means business. And, yeah, I was once again like, Careface.
Okay, that's weird.
It was weird. It was very weird. I don't know why I watched it, maybe just so I could finally cheer that it's over.
Oh. Let's see, we'll have some more news that we sort of care about, at least.
Oh yes, we do care about this one.
Which is something that a year ago I never thought I'd hear, ever. And I'll give you the honor, my British friend.
First of all, fantastically, DC Comics beat Marvel in every respect in the comic sales of last month. In terms of unit share, they got 39.86% compared to the 37.5% of Marvel. They had slightly less dollar share, that's just because Marvel makes more expensive comics. But the top 10 comics individually sold, the top 10 of them were entirely DC. Every single one. And I'm going to mention this one in particular because we never thought we'd see today, when this would be coming out of our mouths, Aquaman beat every single Marvel comic book of that month. Admittedly, it's number 10 on the list of top 10 comics that sold in January, but still, every single Marvel comic of that month sold less.
To be honest, Aquaman is in the top 10 of the current 52 series that is ongoing in DC.
Oh yeah, it's one of the better ones, definitely.
Yeah, which is also something that blows my mind.
And that's why I am a massive fanboy of Jeff Johns, because he can turn any character cool.
I would give Jeff Johns my firstborn if he asked, because he could make my firstborn awesome, possibly, or eat it, which I would be fine with either.
Yeah, even if he was fueled on babies, if he had to devour a firstborn of comic book nerds across the world to actually create comic each individual page, I'd still be fine with it.
Yeah. So let's for those of you who are actually interested in top 10s, we can do a quick top 10 of the top 10 selling comics for January 2012. Let's go every other, starting with Aquaman number 5 at number 10.
Then Batman and Robin number 5 at 9.
At 8 we have The Flash number 5.
At 7, Superman number 5. I don't see why that's on the list, but still.
Same here. Number 6, Batman Dark Knight number 5. Why is that on the list?
I don't know. Maybe people are too nostalgic for the 90s.
Yeah.
At number 5, we have Green Lantern number 5.
Why is that on the list? No, just kidding.
I would punch you through the intertubes.
Number 4, Detective Comics number 5.
Number 3, Action Comics number 5, which is confusing as hell.
I haven't read that one. I think.
It's confusing as hell.
Is that the one with the anti-Superman League?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I've read that one. That was confusing as hell. At number 2 we have Batman number 5.
Which is fantastic. And number 1, would you expect anything else? Justice League number 5.
Yeah. I think number 2 should have been number 1. Well,
yeah.
I guess it's not in actual how good the comic is, but how much it's sold, so yeah.
Yeah.
And
actually,
there are more boobies in Justice League than there is in Batman.
That might be why Batman the Dark Knight's been selling so well. Boobs!
Oh yeah, they have that rabbit thing.
Yeah.
Which is incidentally the same thing, the same words I used to describe the rabbit things from Final Fantasy. They kind of look alike, the Final Fantasy 12 rabbit thingies.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Just to add further insult to injury to Marvel, they only had one trade paperback or graphic novel in the top 10 list of that month, which was Fear Itself Premiere, hardcover. That's the only one that made the list. The rest of it is DC, Image, and Dark Horse.
Yeah. I mean,
I can smell a reboot coming.
Marvel doesn't do reboots.
They said they weren't going to do one, but I'm guessing that once Avengers vs. X-Men's over, they're going to try one. Just to boost their sales, because good lord, they're doing badly.
Yeah. I don't think they're going to do... But they have that Spider-Man event coming up, the End Days. Oh they're going to do a reboot.
Yeah, they are going to do a reboot.
I just heard the words come out of my mouth. I was like, the End of Days. Yeah, they're gonna do a reboot.
Yeah, they're either gonna do it tied into End of Days or to Avengers vs. X-Men, where you've got two characters with borderline reality, or well, in one case, reality warping powers.
Yeah, I think Avengers vs. X-Men will lead into End of Days.
Could do.
Just like, well, maybe not just like Blackest Night led into Brightest Day, but think about some like the Return of the Flash thingy. Yeah, led into Brightest Blackest Night,
Yeah.
or how Brightest Day led into Flashpoint.
Something like that, yeah.
I just think
You
it's-
heard it here first, speculation.
I think it's brilliant that Image has 3 trade paperbacks in the top 10, and Marvel has 1 hardcover.
Yeah. That shows how far they've fallen from grace.
You know what I think is even better? One of the trade paperback that Image has in there is like what 2 years old, 3 years old, 2 years old.
Yeah.
It's the Walking Dead Volume 1, Days Gone By, which is obviously in great attribute to the Walking Dead series.
Yeah. I mean, even the latest Walking Dead is on there, Volume 15, in that list.
Just way down.
Yeah.
So yeah, DC and Image are doing good. They should be smug right now, sitting on their mountain of gold.
Mountain of gold, cocaine, and hookers, most likely.
God.
I'm gonna get sued.
Yeah, we're gonna get sued and taken down and
Just this
killed.
guy. This one
Yeah.
right here gets sued.
Yes, we're gonna take a break, and when we come back, we'll do the back catalog, reviewing some comics. This is Fear and the Nervous System with Choking Victim. You're listening to Crossover live on Noticeable Radio at noticeableradio.com, and if you hate this music, blame Jack.
This podcast is brought to you courtesy of Skype.
Hello!
Oh, hi.
You're listening to Crossover live on Noticeable Radio at noticeableradio.com. We're about to go from the Daily Planet into
Lucky she's young. Work your way through my back catalog, we'll be here till the sun explodes.
the back catalog. Thank you, Captain Jack Harkness.
You're welcome.
You know, Captain Jack Harkness.
I could be.
You have never been called the face of Bo?
Once or twice.
No, that wasn't a question. It was just a weird statement. And
That was a very
tone.
weird statement to make, yeah.
Yeah. Actually, we had off topic, but when I was a kid, about 15 or so, and we went camping with the scouts, we had this thing where we would basically end sentences with an uptone, leaving people thinking that there were more to come with that. And then it would be like, oh, joke's on you, if you asked if there was anything else. So, for example, someone asks, oh, what's for dinner? And you say, oh, well, there's going to be a casserole with meat. And then just end there. And then everybody laughs at the person, says meat and... Yeah, so I did that a lot when I was a kid.
Interesting sense of humor.
I know. So we're going to review some comics.
Yes. Yes, we are. Or in your case, apparently some manga.
Yes, quite a bit of manga. So I've read more this week than I have read any other week since we started the show over a year
Wow.
ago. And that is including those weeks during the summer when Flashpoint and Fear Itself went on. And I
Oh
bought
yeah,
all
that one.
where I got like 20 issues a week. No. This week, to start off, I've been rereading even Dragon Ball, because my computer broke down on Sunday and I had to do something between Sunday and now. So I read 20 volumes of Dragon Ball. 18 to 38.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Especially considering every volume is 150 pages.
Is most of that just spent charging up?
It's not as bad as in the TV series.
Oh god.
By any stretch of the imagination. Like
Each saga, as they called it on that show, could have been condensed into 15 minutes. It wasn't spent going "Ah," for about like 13 episodes.
yeah, they have a little bit of that, but it's
A little bit.
yeah, it's rarely any more than 2 panels.
Oh, that's all right then. That's perfectly fine.
And there's like 6 panels in a page. Usually, actually, I'm gonna up that to 4 panels. Usually they'll have like a panel and then a reaction shot of some other people and then another panel of charging and such.
Oh god. I was about to say, in order to recreate a episode of Dragon Ball Z by reading the manga, just stare at one panel for
10 minutes.
for 10 minutes whilst just screaming in your head, "Ah!"
Oh no, you don't have to scream in your head. They have actually written down. Ah.
They've actually. Why on earth? What?
Well,
Why?
Ha. And Kamehameha. Though they haven't written out Kamehameha. They just have Ka, and the next page. No, next.
I was about to
panel.
say, because otherwise you wouldn't have any pictures. It'd be one long string of the letter A
Yeah, they
on
have like
every page.
Ka ... Next panel Ha. No wait, Me ... Next panel Ha ... 2 pages later, because there's been discussions among all the other people around him.
Jesus.
Ha. What?
Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing right now? Oh, he's charging up his most powerful attack. Oh my god, it's absolutely amazing. Oh my god, it's still charging. Oh my god.
That's
That
basically
is,
it. It's like,
yeah.
is he really gonna use that? He'll destroy the earth. La, 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 la. And then they have the same reaction from 3 different people.
Oh my god.
I have to say that
I could totally write manga. I'm just putting it out there right now.
I have to say that I started reading at volume 18 simply for the sake that is 1 volume after they start Dragon Ball Z, and that's when it really goes into like all fighting, charging up Super Saiyan stuff.
Fair enough.
So yeah, I read through the entire Vegeta Saiyan fight on Earth arc, the Let's Go Into Outer Space Namek arc, the We're Back on Earth, let's fight some androids who are really cyborg arcs, and the Cell arc. And then
Alright.
I would have continued, but I actually have lost the volume that follows the Cell arc. I can't find it, which
I
made
don't even
me
know what
sound
comes
bad.
after that, to be honest.
After that, it goes into like 10 years into the future, and then the Boo arc starts, and after that, the series
The
ends.
what?
The Boo arc.
The Boo.
The Boo. B-U-U. Well, I think it's called something else in English, but in Swedish it's called B-U-U. Boo.
Okay, right. Listen very carefully, because I'm going to do this once. That is... Wow, now I'm not surprised why I stopped watching that TV show.
The manga is great. Like,
I'm sure it is.
the Boo arc is actually pretty good. It's not that bad. It's
If you
definitely
say
not
so.
the worst. There are worse arcs.
Could always be worse.
Yeah. I just had... In Sweden, when they translated it to Swedish, because that's what I read it in, they actually have the androids translated to cyborgs because they're crafted from humans. which makes them cyborgs.
Yeah.
But in English, they're androids, which pisses me off. And then it pissed me off when they did no distinction between the actual cyborgs and the one android that they actually have. Also, they called the guy that was grown in a test tube a cyborg. That also pissed me off. But yes, less about... Oh shit, we spent 15 minutes talking about Dragon Ball.
Apparently so.
Yes, what have you been reading?
I have been reading a lot. I'm going to quickly rush through everything that was not DC.
Oh, don't rush for my sake. We just spent 15 minutes talking about the one thing I read this week. I still have another thing to talk about. So,
Yeah, I'm going to hurry through.
No, don't rush.
So first of all, stuff that was not Marvel. Magic the Gathering #1. I actually used to and kind of trying to get back into playing that. And yeah, the comic wasn't that great. It's because they try to rush everything they've been doing for the last 5 years in Magic the Gathering, the card game, into the one issue. So it's like, okay, so I'm a planeswalker, I can go like between all the different worlds. It's fantastic, I steal things because I can. Yeah, omnipotent power and I just decide to steal things. Whatever. And so he visits every single friggin' world that they've had in the last 5 years of Magic the Gathering. It's a clusterfuck.
That sounds very complicated.
I know it is, so I'm not going to continue reading that. The Strain, on the other hand, by I think Dark Horse, I believe.
Yeah, that's them.
Yeah, I haven't got it on hand, so I can't really say. But The Strain #3 continues to be really, really good. Sticks to the source material really well. However, my one complaint is we didn't really need to see any penis in that issue. No, I'm leaving it at that, but we didn't need to see any penis.
But you did.
We did, but yeah, unfortunately.
For you.
Anyway, to Marvel, Battle Scars #4. It's finally revealed why everyone's out to get this guy that no one really cares about. But I probably shouldn't say I don't care about because he's black, and I'll make it seem like a little bit dodgy if I said, oh, I don't give a toss about this character. But he's just poorly written. And this comic isn't that great. And this is supposed to be the next big thing, like leading up to, introducing this fantastic character who's going to be big in all the big events. And yeah, I can kind of see how he's going to be big in future, but I really don't give a toss.
Which character is it? Is it a new character?
It's a new character, yeah.
Okay.
And he ties into someone fairly big.
Literally
big,
big, like size big or fame big?
Fame big.
Okay.
I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to spoil it.
Because my first guess was the Red Hulk.
No. He ties into a very, very famous character. I'm not going to spoil it because that is the ending of that issue. On the other hand, Incredible Hulk #5 reveals how the Hulk and Banner were split by Doom. Yeah. And yeah, I was getting back in the series and now I'm suddenly thrown back out. Especially because the Hulk ends up getting his ass kicked by a gamma irradiated monkey at one point in this issue. So I just thought, fuck this.
Really? A gamma
Yeah.
irradiated monkey?
Yeah.
What?
And I don't mean like, it's a gorilla who's been gamma irradiated. No, I mean a little, like, baby chimp, essentially. It's stupid as hell. Tuning into Mystery #634 though wasn't. It was actually kind of good.
Okay.
Mostly because it's Kid Loki, so of course it's gonna be good.
I like Kid Loki.
Kid Loki is awesome.
He's badass.
He is. Moving swiftly on, something from last week, which I think deserves mention because I only just read it this week. X Club #3 is confusing as hell. This is just going into just such weird territory now. I mean, Dr. Nemesis has actually gone full-blown insane. I mean, he's a fantastic character. and like, you know, essentially the good version of Doom.
Okay.
Which, bear in mind, you got a good guy who's got that sort of personality is actually kind of good.
Wait,
But he goes completely
is it-
insane.
Rewind. Did you say that his name was Dr. Nemesis?
Yes, he's a good guy.
And he's a good guy.
Yeah.
Are we in the reverse 80s? Because that's totally an 80s villain name. Dr.
Kind of.
Nemesis.
Kind of, sort of, but not quite.
It's like it's like
He's
calling
actually,
the character.
he's actually from the 30s, for God's sake. He was a villain in the 30s, reformed in the 50s.
It really sounds like someone, a character you'd call Mr. Bad Guy.
Mr. Bad Guy.
For, like,
Yeah,
Texas
he goes
Laboratory.
completely bat-crap insane at one point. There's one character who's revealed to be, how to put it another way, but it turns out he's learned himself that he's attracted to robots. And that's a big plot point for some fucking reason. There's a robot character in it who's got pregnant, but not by the guy who's attracted to robots. I don't fucking understand what's going on. And then there's Nazis. And I'm confused as fuck by what's going on.
This starts to sound like Dragon Ball because
It is.
there is a she's a cyborg that gets impregnated by a little monk.
Oh yeah,
And-
I
and-
remember that.
And she's created by Nazis, essentially.
Yeah. And topping it off from Marvel for me, X-Men number 24 was just fucking annoying because it's vampires. They've gone back to the vampires and I'm pissed off beyond all comprehension.
Poor you.
Yep. Anyway, before I go to DC, what was the other thing that you read?
So I also read another trade paperback this week from Nickelodeon. Ooh. It's
Ooh!
Avatar: The Last Airbender: The Promise Part 1. Now,
How's that for a long title?
not the worst one we had. I
Oh no. Oh no.
Not the worst one we had, but those of you who are familiar with the Avatar: The Last Airbender cartoon that went on Nickelodeon, you will know that it was a brilliant series, and those of you who haven't seen it should go and watch it because I tell you to right now.
Okay then.
So yeah,
I'll stop the show right now then.
okay, maybe in 40 minutes.
Okay.
It basically takes place right after. Let's see. It starts like right after, maybe a month after the end of the series, and then time jumps a year ahead. So it's very close by. Very little have happened that you don't know about. And it's all going to be explained in the series anyway. Basically, it's all about Aang trying to fix the world now that he's beaten back the Fire Nation from invading everything.
I so hope he's trying to fix the world with a wrench.
No.
Damn it.
No wrenches. He can control earth, fire, water, and wind. Why would he use a wrench?
It doesn't fall in them categories.
Okay, whatever. But there's quite a bit of struggle because of friendship and promises and all that. Hence the promise. Really good series. You should definitely pick it up. It's not that expensive. So yeah.
Fair enough.
And the art style is very reminiscent of the series. Basically looks like still images from the series.
Awesome.
Yes. Yes.
Very well then. In that case, I'll finish off what I've been reading with DC stuff. Okay, very quickly. Batman and Robin number 6 was quite awesome. It kind of ended the way I expected it to in regards to Robin, but oh well.
You'll
Can't
have
say
to
that's a
tell me.
bad thing. not going to tell you anything. I'm not going to spoil a single thing.
Well, I'm not gonna read it, so
Alright, fine.
you can tell me in the break.
Basically, yeah, well, I'll tell you in the break. Demon X number 6 was fantastic as ever. Mostly because, well, it's on the cover even, but the Amazon chick in it headbutts a Triceratops.
But Triceratops aren't real.
They are real, they just happen to be from the distant past.
No, I mean, there never were Triceratops. We'll get into that discussion another time. Go on.
Okay.
Amazon lady headbutts a Triceratops.
Headbutts a Triceratops. Rhino Savage is a complete arsehole in this, and Madame Xanadu comes very, very close to killing an innocent for selfish reasons, which is actually quite good. Green Lantern number 6 was fantastic, but the art style in this particular issue was distracting as hell because it was so drastically different and I think a little bit worse than previous issues.
Do you know who did the art on that one?
I haven't got a hand, so I can't tell you.
Okay.
Penguin Prejudice has been a fantastic series and ended really, really well. I hardly advise anyone who's at all interested in seeing the Penguin as a well-rounded character and not just a pastiche going whack, 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 whack at all times. Pick this up and trade paperback when it comes out. And finally, it may have come out last week, but I've only just read it this week. Red Lanterns number 6. There was a it's getting good now. It's actually getting into a decent series, but it confused the hell out of me because the human Green Lanterns from England. And I forgot about that because everything about it looks American. I mean, at one point he gets apprehended by the police who look like American cops. You know, American uniforms and everything. But they're all saying bloody and mate and all that sort of English idioms. And I was thinking, what the... Okay, I'm confused as hell.
Talio chaps, let's go have some tea.
I swear there may or may not be a moment in that one where, you know, he first gets his powers and they go, blimey!
Sorry.
But yes, it's actually shaping up to be a decent series now.
Awesome.
All my complaints in the past seem to have been sort of seen to.
Okay.
Yarp.
Yarp. Is that it?
That is it. Everything.
Alright, then we need to go to our last music break. I'm unsure if we can fit in our Rogues Gallery tonight, but we should be able to. When we come back, we have the new releases, the Riddles and the Rogues Gallery, if we can manage to fit it all in, along with the webcomic Spotlight. Next is Sixto Sounds, Steppo and Circon with The Passing of the Blue Crown, chosen by me. You're listening to Crossover live on Nordosel Radio at nordosellradio.com. See you on the flip side.
This podcast is brought to you courtesy of Skype.
Welcome back to the final part of Crossover on nordosellradio.com. Somehow, I'm still Jack, and over there in Sweden is... Sergio.
De la Muente.
My god, it's Nick's evil twin.
I have the beard.
I thought you have a beard anyway.
Shut up.
Is your evil twin the one with the clean shaven face?
Yeah, that must be it. Or
Yeah, it's like the exact opposite of the evil twin sort of thing.
or maybe I am the evil twin.
The gasp!
And he's the good twin. I mean, you just assume that the Spanish sounding guy would... He didn't actually sound Spanish, I don't know. That the Spanish guy
Spanish sounding name anyway.
the Spanish sounding name would be the bad guy.
No,
That's
that's
racist.
because it's always the second one you come across that's always referred to as the evil twin.
I guess so.
You know,
No
I
point.
assume the first one's a good one.
Yeah, yeah. And we've we're both very aware that I am not good.
As we've come to realize.
So, let's see, what were we doing? Oh yeah, it's time to go from reviews from what we read this week into what comes next week in the future.
You've got to come back with me. Where? Back to the future.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that sound clip is actually taken from the old 1985 commercial for Back to the Future. Crossover
Wow.
trivia.
There you go. Little nugget of knowledge for you there.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm guessing I'm going to go first as always. So, my first pick for next week, the 15th, is DC Universe Presents number 6. It's going to be... What?
Jack?
Hello?
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 Hey,
Hey.
go on. I said all right, and then you just stopped.
Oh. Okay, I thought you were saying, like, you know, something's going wrong or something.
Nope.
Anyway, this is going to be the start of a new storyline after the, you know, kind of quantum leap that was Deadman. This is going to be starring the challenges of the unknown. Survivors of a helicopter crash in the Himalayas are hunted down by a mysterious and dangerous force. They must complete a quest that takes them to the strangest corners of the world in order to save their own lives.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Oh no.
I know!
Oh no. What?
Why no?
So that's a thing.
That's a thing, yeah.
Have
that
you ever
happened.
heard of Challengers of the Unknown before?
No, I haven't.
So this is a new thing.
It may be a new thing, it may be an old thing with a new name or new people, I don't know.
Let's see. Search Google for Challengers of the Unknown. Oh, there's a Wikipedia page for it. Challengers of the Unknown is a group of fictional characters in comic books published by DC Comics, created by Jack Kirby, so it's been a while,
Oh, it's been a while then.
or co-created with Dave Wood. Sources differ. This quartet of adventurers explored science-fictional and apparent paranormal occurrences and faced fantastic menaces. I was saying to myself the other day, because I have no friends, that there isn't a lot of sci-fi in DC Comics.
There's a little bit, but some of it is more, you know, superhero based rather than strict sci-fi.
Yeah, I wanted like strict sci-fi, Firefly sci-fi, like real future sci-fi.
Future, yep. Here's hoping.
Yeah,
This
like
turns out to be really good.
like Legion Lost or whatever.
Oh,
of
Legion
Superheroes.
bloody lost, we don't mention that.
Legion of Superheroes meets Star Trek. You're apparently in Countdown, these guys.
Yeah, that happened.
Yeah.
Anyway, what's your first pick?
So my first pick for this week is a hardcover, and it's not just a hardcover, it's the hardcover for Ultimate Comics Spider-Man hardcover Volume 1. And
A gasp.
you have to remember that there is difference between Ultimate Spider-Man and Ultimate Comics Spider-Man. Ultimate Spider-Man being the Peter Parker series, while Ultimate Comics Spider-Man is the Miles Morales series, which is why this can be Volume 1. So,
Fair enough.
yeah, this is the first 5 issues of Ultimate Comics Spider-Man, along with Ultimate Comics Fallout number 4. So this is the chronicling of the start of Miles Morales.
Nice.
I must say, like, there was in January a hardcover coming out for Fear Itself, right?
Yep.
The Fear Itself ended months ago, like in November, right? Or something like that. September,
yeah.
October, like a long time ago. This special arc that chronicled the start of Miles Morales ended last month, and now it's coming out with a hardcover. I think that's brilliant. So if you pick this up, you will be caught right up to speed. You have missed very little. I think you're just one issue behind, actually. Ultimate Comics Spider-Man number 6 came out on January 18th, and you should still be able to find it somewhere, or back orders or something. So yeah, I go on for way too long. Stop me when I go on.
Oh well, I'll try to in future. My second pick is going to be Green Lantern Corps number 6, the stunning conclusion to the war between the Corps, Green Lantern Corps, and their new nemesis, the Keepers, who are just, a bunch of abused caretakers, essentially. Now that they've realised the Green Lantern power ring doesn't work, they're going to use guns to take it on. And, someone's going to die, apparently, this issue, so, that's always interesting, I guess.
Didn't they decide that, like, a long time ago that they were going to use guns?
Last week, they decided they're going to use guns. Last month, rather. But now they've actually got them.
Okay. Oh well.
Yeah. Second pick?
My second pick this week, also hailing from the Ultimate Universe, is Ultimate Comics X-Men number 7, featuring Scarlet Witch on the front cover, wearing very little clothing.
Sounds about right for Scarlet Witch.
Yep. Basically, last issue they fought off Reverend Stryker, the mutant with control over machines. However, that went a little bit wrong when basically he told them to go and find every mutant on the planet and kill them, and they killed him before he could say, let's not do that.
Yeah. Lots of evil sentinels going about the place trying to kill everything.
Yes. So it's
unpleasant.
We'll have to see what happens with that. But it's gonna be Scarlet Witch who does stuff.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
My third and final pick for next week is going to be Thunderbolts number 170. After having their arses handed them royally by King Arthur. What's the pun there? Funny. And having their arses handed them royally by King Arthur and Merlin, mostly. The Thunderbolts are now going up for a second bout as they try to get their way back to the present day in what I'm guessing is going to end up turning out to somehow be a Return of Bruce Wayne kind of story arc where they're traveling back through time, they get back to the present, and then the future blows up.
Mm-hmm.
But oh well. What's your third and final pick then?
Who is in the Thunderbolts now?
I believe they have Jekyll and Hyde. Yeah. The Marvel version of Captain Boomerang, or Boomerang, whatever he's called. Some random Asgardian chick who's, being brought up by trolls. Satana, I believe. Moonstone, and a really, really douchey guy, I forget his name.
Is that Sabretooth on the cover?
No, that's Jekyll and Hyde.
Oh. Why do they look exactly alike?
Because he's wearing a costume now. And not a bowler hat. That was the only thing that set them apart in the past. A bowler hat.
Oh, yeah. Bowler hats are awesome.
They are. I'm going to try and get one from CapalCon, actually.
Oh, that would be great. I can get a top hat. Or Viking hat, actually, because I'm not...
Viking hat would be more suiting.
Yeah. My third pick for this week is not from the Ultimate Universe, it's Activity number 3, following the strike team from the earlier issues. So after the mission that they've been on turns to disaster, the Omaha team that we've been following must deal with trust and failure, and the new person in the team learns a lesson from the veterans, basically.
Fair enough.
I like the art style in this, it's very comic booky. keep using that word, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh well.
Oh well. So, we're done with that. Let's do the webcomic spotlight.
The webcomic spotlight, which I've picked, guess I'll have to do it then, is Skull Kickers, which you can find at skullkickers.keenspot.com. This is actually a print comic as well, which is into its, I believe, 8th and 9th issue? I think maybe even 12th, actually. But this is a fantasy series following a pair of mercenaries, a dwarf and a human, getting up to all kinds of ridiculous hijinks, including fighting against an overweight werewolf. No, really, a massively obese werewolf. Having runs with doppelgangers, stopping assassinations, and all to get some more coin.
I like the premise of that. I just looked
It's
at
actually,
the first
it's
issue.
really stylish.
Yeah.
It's really stylized. Characters are really well fleshed out. I quite like it.
I looked at the first page of this, and the guy has a revolver. I don't know. What era is this set in? Middle
It's
ages?
just a generic fantasy era, really.
Okay, so it reminds me a lot of World of Warcraft, actually, like the World of Warcraft comics. To be honest.
Well, that's not exactly a bad thing, is it?
No, the World of Warcraft comics are awesome.
Exactly.
Yes. So, that's the webcomic spotlight. You can find Skull Kickers at skullkickers.keenspot.com. That's keen as K-E-E-N spot.com.
Or, coincidentally, if you enjoy the series enough, you want to help, keep the guy who makes it going, you can actually buy it at your local comic book store.
I will be on the lookout for that.
Same here.
So, I don't think we're gonna have time for Rogue's Gallery. So, let's do the riddles before we hand off to Raven on the random encounter. And I think we do
Yes, we
that
probably should.
with...
As one baker to another, how do you make a dishonest shortcake?
I don't want to answer that one. I already know it, and it makes me cringe every time. Grrr, happened.
What is the outcome of this week's poll?
The weekly poll this week was number 17. Should more comics be made into live-action TV shows? The voting was actually unanimous. 83% of people say yes, with 17% saying no. I want to know why that 17% said no.
Yeah, that would be interesting to know, actually.
Yeah, because I'm guessing it's probably going to be a case of more cartoons or movies rather than TV shows.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe, but, why can't they just coexist, man?
Mm-hmm.
Get along.
Yes. And of course we have a weekly poll for next week, and the weekly poll for next week is: are you excited about the Amazing Spider-Man, the movie? Because the trailer was just released, and yeah, there's that. So
Yeah.
go to noticerradio.com, click on the forums button, and then go to crossover. You can find weekly poll number 18, which it isn't really that weekly anymore, but yeah, because we've been going for more than 18 weeks.
Damn right.
But weekly poll number 18, Amazing Spider-Man, yay or nay? And yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. It's been fun. It's been a long time, but it's been fun.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to use this opportunity very quickly to do a shameless plug for Nightmare Mode on Saturdays at 10 PM GMT. If you enjoyed my random ramblings and my terrifying music, you will certainly love Nightmare Mode
Oh, you whore.
I am a shameless whore when it comes to promoting my own show.
You promote yourself like a shameless whore.
On a street corner in Belfast. I don't know why specifically Belfast, but I don't know, that just lends itself very well to...
I think it's time to leave now.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys on the flip side. Follow me on Facebook.